If you are one of these people who talk fast, wants instant results, is addicted to dopamine, or tend to rush in life, then this video is for you because it is time to stop rushing and start aligning. And by the way, I am in the exact same boat with you, and it's a realization I had recently because I have been getting so much feedback, okay, from people, certain people that said, slow down your pace. And I thought, how? Like, why is it so important? And the funny thing is, like, this day and age, especially with social media, when you see these like viral videos, when you see these popular TikToks or Instagram reels, a lot of them are based in short attention spans, high instant dopamine, and they talk so fast. Like, they switch the information so quickly. And I don't know about you, but part of me thought, this is what you have to do to be successful, but it's actually the opposite. People say success loves speed, okay? But what I'm coming to realize is that rushing in life, talking really fast, is nothing more but a reflection of your own dysregulated nervous system. Again, speaking from someone who has been there, done that, and I have been told most of my life, okay, that I talk fast. And I was having this realization with myself, one to one, which, by the way, if you haven't done this, I suggest and I encourage you to be honest with yourself. Okay, I said, am I rushing and being fast speaking? Because I thought my brain works fast. Okay, so I said, my brain works fast, so I talk fast. But then I said, hold on a second, is it true? Or am I using this as an excuse to not look at the fact that actually I have dysregulations in my nervous system and past childhood patterns that actually cause this, which has a lot to do with fear of being seen, lack of self-worth, lack of confidence, which, by the way, none of these are going to be conscious to you, but whether or not this is conscious, it can still be impacting you. Rushing, speaking fast, is basically a result and a symptom, a reflection of you not feeling safe to take up space. Feeling like if you don't do it now, you're not safe, you won't be heard, you won't be important, valued, or worthy. If you just slow down, relax, take a seat. Where are you rushing? We're all, ultimate destination is back under the dirt that we all came from. And it's not something I was conscious about. Again, I thought, how can I slow down? But the thing is, like, you can try to slow down. You can try to work backwards and you can try to force your physical reality to slow down. But what's really going to shift it for you is when you understand the root causes of this. When you understand the root causes, I'm going to bring my laptop, okay? Because me and ChatGPT had a one-on-one, so be right back. All right, so ChatGPT and I had a conversation about this because I'm being honest with myself that I have blind spots. We all have blind spots. And until you are willing to allow someone else to tell you what those are, you will just never see them because we don't see ourselves. See, I wanted to rush there again. We don't see ourselves. But that's why the world acts like a mirror so that we can see the reflection of who we are. Okay, so one of the things, and I will share with you some strategies on how you can do this as well, practically regulating your nervous system, toning your vagus nerve, re-scripting yourself, okay, repatterning your beliefs. But first, I want to share with you, what's the reason? Like, what are you subconsciously maybe actually afraid that you don't even know that you are? And I'm going to give you some mindset shifts as well. One thing is rushing, talking fast, even anything in life. If you are trying to rush your job, if you're trying to rush through certain trainings, by the way, I am so guilty of this, okay? When I want something, I want it now, like right now, okay? And I'm gonna do the work, I'm willing to put in the effort, but I have very much been the person to rush everything and to think that I know better. But the thing is, that comes from survival mechanisms. Note the amount of effort it's taking me right now to talk slowly, okay? Talking fast and rushing in life is a survival mechanism because you don't believe that if you slow down, if you trust, you'll be safe. You don't believe it's safe to take up space, to be seen. Because when we look at people, really powerful, successful people, a lot of them are slow, mindful, and intentional with their words. And for the longest time, I didn't believe that my words had power. I thought, oh, I just say whatever comes out of my mouth, okay? I'm just channeling this, okay? Very fun perspective. However, words that you say, and I'm learning this so much, I don't want to go into the details just yet because it's not relevant for this, but what I will say, and I don't want to talk for 2 hours, okay? See, rushing again, it's a pattern. Every word you say has power. Every single thing you do has power, and true success comes from alignment. It's almost like, think about it like this. If you are trying to swim somewhere, if you are in the middle of a river, it's an insight I had in an ayahuasca ceremony. If you're just in water and you're just splashing your hands like a crazy person, and you're trying to, oh my God, I'm gonna drown, I don't know where I'm going, like here, like you're just batting around in space. If you're not grounded and rooted in your direction, you're not gonna get anywhere, and you're not gonna swim, and you're more likely to just cause chaos. When you're in water and there's chaos, you get still, you get present, you get grounded. So I want to ask you, where did you learn that you had to shrink or rush or be digestible or be quiet? Another thing is, like, speaking fast usually means that you're not used to being heard. You don't believe that if you slow down, people will listen. And it's a belief I had subconsciously too. You think you have to say it now. You have to do it now. You need it now. Otherwise, if you don't get it right now, you don't trust it will come back to you, okay? So that's where that's coming from for the most part, okay? But I want you to know that it's not your fault. You are like this. If you're watching this video, I feel like the type of videos I want to be making going forward will be kind of what I wish I could tell my past self, because I just wish I could go back in time and tell this to my past self. Listen, you're safe right now. Look around. Where are you trying to get to? You will get everywhere you need to get, okay? Trust that. Trust the process of life. Trust your higher self. What is meant for you will not miss you. It simply cannot. What is meant for you will chase you down. You will not run away from it if you wish. Okay, so some of the things that ChatGPT has suggested me to do, one of them, okay, you have to consciously slow it down. So if it's talking, okay, I will say this as an example, do it so slow, like painfully slow. Speak painfully slow. And what you realize is that it's not actually slow to the other person. I don't know about you, but I listen to all the podcasts, all the books at 2x speed. Usually, okay? Everything is 2x speed. So my brain quite literally is used to this fast-paced informational delivery. So when you're speaking, you don't really hear yourself the same way that other people will hear you. So chances are right now, to me, I sound like I am on slow mode, okay? But probably to the person listening, it sounds just normal. Comment below if I actually sound like I am on slow mode, okay? Because I feel like I am on slow mode and it's a little bit uncomfortable, okay? The next thing I want to do is really work on your mindset and your core beliefs. Because yes, you want to regulate your nervous system, you want to tone your vagus nerve, which I will get into in a moment. It's something I have been focusing on recently, is working with my nervous system. It has been a big focus on how to just get out of survival and into resting state physiologically, okay? But one thing you also want to do is work with your belief systems, work with your perspectives and your mindset, because It's those subconscious beliefs, it's those subconscious survival patterns and mechanisms that you hold on here that cause you to rush, that cause you to talk fast, okay? So I want you to ask yourself, what would happen if you did slow down? What is that fear? What are you afraid of if you just took a step back? Whether it's talking slower, whether it's actually not rushing to get to the next thing. Do you know how much of my life I have spent rushing to get to the next thing? It's a survival mechanism, okay? It's not good for your nervous system at all. And I want you to know that being slow is actually a sign of power. You don't have to prove yourself. You don't have to prove yourself at all, okay? You're worthy just as you are. Talking fast, rushing in life also comes from feeling like you have to prove yourself, like you have to do everything right and faster than everyone else, or else like you're not worthy, okay? So you don't have to prove yourself. And being slower in life, talking, doing, is a sign of power. It creates depth. I realized this when I was just sitting outside. If you are rushing, you are touching it on a surface level. And I realized, I was like, I need to slow down my pace, not just in my verbiage, but in my presence with life. How do you eat? How do you walk? Okay, I used to live in New York before this. I might be moving again soon because my lease is up in 2 months and I have no idea what I'm doing, okay? We'll figure it out. Not worried about that right now. I may stay here, I may move, I don't know. But so I used to live in New York and everyone there walks so fast. They run. And I got used to that, okay? And the thing is, your environment impacts you more than you realize. You start becoming your environment unless you actually realize and consciously choose a different environment or undo those past beliefs and past imprints, okay? Being slow communicates confidence, communicates power, communicates sense of security and trust, and that is magnetic. It communicates being balanced and grounded, okay? Not just to people around you, but to the universe as well. It communicates standards. It quite literally makes you magnetic. It regulates your nervous system, and regulated nervous system is the key to getting everything in life. I could get so much more in depth with like nervous system regulation, okay? But the whole point of this too is that true success in life comes from alignment, not from rushing. There's a belief, and there's so much of this that I have personally seen that, and I have done too, just, you know, do massive things, do massive amount of things, produce a lot of things. Eventually it will click, eventually you will get it, and it's all great, but it takes so much energy and it can burn you out. It depends on the kind of person that you are too. And there's value in that, because the more you do, the more you realize what's not yours. But the only way you'll get true success in life is when you are aligned. I actually have this written on my whiteboard. I have a whiteboard with a whole bunch of reminders, okay? And one of them is that you have to commit to your alignment. If something is out of alignment, that's a no, okay? It's not gonna serve you to rush and do things that are out of alignment just to survive, okay? I want you to look around right now. You're okay. We live in such a blessed world that we forget how just lucky we are, honestly speaking, with so many things. I feel like we're one of the most luckiest generations, just as far as like the conveniences and comforts we have, that we take it for granted. And I've been also just focusing more on being grateful for life, for all the things, you know. It's just good to slow down and look around and realize that you're safe, Okay, so one thing I will also give you is nervous system regulation when it comes to toning your vagus nerve. Your vagus nerve basically is a central nerve that runs through your entire body, okay? And there are multiple ways to do it. But vagus nerve is the part of your system, nervous system, that is responsible for putting you from parasympathetic fight or flight into rest and digest and actually being regulated, okay? So one of the best ways to do it, and there's many ways, okay? I have found so many ways to do this because I have found myself needing to regulate my nervous system at different points in time. And the best ways to do it are humming or singing is the most popular I found, because when you're humming, you're vibrating this thing. It's like when Buddhist monks say om, like they're vibrating their whole, like, vagus nerve. It has real effects. Okay, so humming is a good one. Meditation is really good one. And the easiest one is just deep breathing, box breathing, okay? And I thought, oh, it's just breathing. Like, I was such a skeptic, you guys, okay? I did not believe this at all. I was like, oh, I'm just breathing. Like, that's not gonna do anything, right? Like, how is me taking extra 4, 6, 8 breaths, the box breathing where you inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale 4, hold 4, or simply actually inhaling 4, hold 6, exhale 8. So the whole point of it is that you're mindful of your breathing. And what really actually slows down your nervous system is when your exhale is longer than your inhale. So I used to think, oh, that's not gonna do anything. Like, I was such a skeptic. But then I started to try it. When it's a stressful situation, or I just feel overwhelmed or overstimulated, I would simply start breathing. Like, take a deep breath, hold it, and then exhale. And do it again. And that, like, even the exhale, like the psychological side, you're just like, just exhale, okay? Your entire being exhales. And when I first came upon this information, again, I was also a skeptic, because sometimes when you're living in survival, when you're rushing in life, you're kind of used to it. It feels safe. It feels safe. It feels comfortable. It feels like that's all you know. You kind of don't want to change because you're used to it. But the thing is, your energy transfers onto everything that you do in life. It transfers onto the people you speak with. Whatever industry you are in, the people you're communicating with, because we all communicate with some people, I would hope, okay? If you're not communicating people, your brain is asking you to please get some social medicine and get some human contact, okay? Sound like an alien right now, but we all need human contact. Your energy translates onto the person. Even me making videos, my energy, how I feel, transfers through the camera. And that's why maybe sometimes we like certain people or we don't like certain people, and there's no reason behind it. It's energy, okay? So you slowing down not only is going to help you heal, align you with everything you're meant to be aligned with, because you know what? When you are rushing, when you're in a state of fight or flight, you are unable to see and perceive the opportunities that God is whispering to you, that your intuition is telling you. And it's something I also realized, and I actually had a pretty big epiphany with this, is that your intuition is not accurate if you're in fight or flight. It is not accurate, okay? I would think, oh my God, can I not trust my gut anymore? Is my gut misleading me? No, baby, no. It's just not accurate when you're in fight or flight. Because when you're in fight or flight, when you're rushing, your intuition is gonna tap into more of that. So when you regulate yourself, your intuition becomes better. It becomes clearer. And you know what happens? When your intuition is better, you can see through people, you can see through situations, you can get aligned actions, inspirations, literally every single area of your life improves. as a result of that, of just simply taking a step back, grounding, and saying, like, okay, I can feel all this energy. I can feel all this tension. I can breathe through it and ground. One thing I will say also, that because this is such a deep body work, okay, yes, you can work on your beliefs. Maybe it's helpful for you to simply understand that when you slow down and you don't rush, everything is going to be better. You're going to have your nervous system regulated. People will listen to you more. You'll be more confident, okay? Maybe it's enough for you to understand this to shift your behavior. But a lot of it is in the body. When you do something new, when you go after opportunities, when you go after things in life, your body is its own being, its own memory bank. So you want to work with that too. There are things like somatic experiencing that you can do. I've tried it. It's really good, okay? And one thing I also like is, I'm not someone to talk much about recommending supplements because I'm not licensed in those things. I can just tell you what I do personally. And what I realized is a lot of this nervous system dysregulation, for me at least, also came from not giving my body the nutrients it needed. So I wasn't eating unhealthy, but I just had a lot of food sensitivities, and I just wasn't eating certain foods like omega-3s, okay, or certain minerals that your body needs to stay balanced. So I really had to work with that as well. And I just took something called Shilajit, I don't know, it's pronunciation, okay? And that roots me down. And it helps me to understand what it feels like to be rooted down into the earth. It's like there is this quote that nature never rushes, yet everything is accomplished. I think it's Lao Tzu. So I'm going to leave you with that, okay? You are part of nature, and nature never rushes, yet everything is accomplished. You will get to where you need to get to when you need to get there. Just trust that, okay? I love you so much, and I wish you all the best.